Hey, we're back. Uh, I finished off Michigan. But yeah, I finished off Michigan. But anyways, where else? Sorry, do have to. All right, in another good, but Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Nevada, clean. Essentially putting the Dems at stems over 276 electoral votes. Pennsylvania, I think is going. Actually, I hear people saying that Pennsylvania is going to be a Republican state in the future, a safe one, but I don't. Honestly, I think it can remain a swing state for a long while. Honestly, since yeah, Republicans still have a lot of room to gain in right working class areas. They still have a lot of ground to lose in a lot of suburban areas. I think it'll cancel each other out. Honestly. Georgia I put as likely because I think that the Atlanta area is going to continue its its expansion and getting much more bluer. And I can't really see Republicans I can't really see Republicans breaking that trend. Honestly, I think Georgia is going to become the new Virginia. Looking at the demographics, I think things don't look too good for Republicans. Honestly, doesn't. Um, since they since they have almost essentially maxed out a lot of their rural support and white working, like a non-educated support, and they still have a lot of ground to lose, and a lot of the Atlanta area, and since a lot of people are moving and they're in in when during talking about the Atlanta area, they tend to be overwhelmingly Democratic. So I think that's gonna be a massive problem for Republicans. Okay, these are so now the tilt states. So start with Nevada. I forgot. Nevada. I think it's going to stay like this might stay like this for a little bit. I mean, the Republicans should start gaining in Nevada since Nevada is one of the most uneducated states in the country, but the thing is that they're in Torsten. That's kind of a long story, but of a lot of the lot of the economy for Nevada is the tourism. It's kind of different from like other blue collar, not even to an extent. If you really want to consider that a lot of the tourist industry blue collar, but for going to be interesting to see how Nevada plays out in the future. But for in 2024, I believe it's going to remain around the same, like 2.5, 2 points around that area. But yeah, now we're at the tilt states. It doesn't really matter that much, but tilt Republican, I'd say Texas. And Wisconsin. Texas, I think them stuff have room to gain in in a lot of the suburban areas, like the Dallas area, the Houston area, not the Texas Triangle as a whole. But I think what's going to cost them is actually the gains, like in southern Texas, like with Hispanics, or specifically across the RGV. I mean, I do think that those trends aren't flukes. I think they're real. I think that will just barely hold Texas for the Republicans. And Wisconsin's interesting. A little bit kind of interesting. Thing about Democrats is that they still have a lot of ground to lose in Wisconsin, specifically among white working class areas. But the thing about Wisconsin is that there we need to see what's going to happen in the Milwaukee area, specifically the Well counties. Like the Well counties have historically been the Republican heart of this political state, but is Biden made some gains in the Well counties in 2020. So we're going to see how they play out because they may be able to counteract a lot of white working class gains in the future. But for now, I can't really see it that much. So I think Wisconsin will eventually become a Republican state. And the remaining two states is North Carolina and Arizona. North Carolina is interesting in that it voted for Obama in 2008, but hasn't voted for the Democrats either for presidential or senatorial election since. But more importantly, but in terms of presidential elections, I think people forget that 2008 North Carolina was like the perfect. At that point, them still a lot of rural conservative rights still voted with the Democrats. They've rapidly trended Republican. But the thing is that, and then another thing is, actually never mind. And I think another reason, there's a couple other reasons why North Carolina has already voted Democratic is because a lot of its suburbs haven't really started voting Democratic, and like outside of the core counties. And also people forget this, but a lot of white conservative retirees actually are starting to move into North Carolina along the coast. Granted, not as much as Florida, but quite a bit. But I think the Dems are just barely favored is because I can see North Carolina is rapidly gaining population, a lot of which is overwhelmingly Democratic. The Republicans don't have much room to gain with rural conservatives. I don't think like the retirees will be able to counteract the rest of the immigration into North Carolina by 2024. I think it'll just barely go to the Democrats. Arizona, I think that Arizona will. I don't think it's going to be the next Virginia, but I think it's going to be a swing state for a while. The thing about Arizona is that it's very moderate and tend to be very moderate. And they may there's a chance a generic Republican can win a lot of them back, but I'm not sure how it's going to happen, if they're going to win enough though, enough of like the moderate suburban Phoenix voters to win back Arizona. And yeah, but But yeah, I think this is the map for 2024 to 40 to 31. Hope you enjoy.